Hello, my name is Scott Manis and I'm a solutions consultant with Beyond 20. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new content for version 9.6 and newer. If you originally went live with a version of Cherwell older than 9.6, your incident form most likely looks something like this. The top area has all the fields related to the incident form, and then there's tabs down at the bottom that show different related objects to this, such as journals, which is the history of what occurred in the ticket, tasks, which are sub-items that can be assigned to different teams, SLA information, and other related tickets. However, when 9.6 was released, they greatly changed the layout of this form and all of the other major forms within Cherwell. So if we go look at a 9.6 form, you'll see that the new incident form now looks like this. So what they've done is at the very top, key information is listed in this area only. We've got the ticket status and the ability to move the ticket to the next status. The SLA information. If the ticket's in pending, this will appear, and this is the pending reason for the ticket. And then we've got the customer, and then we've got the individual and team that's assigned this ticket. At the very top, you'll see a few more pieces of information. This P3 is giving us the priority information. This color of the circle will also change depending on the priority of the ticket. And then we'll see in this example it says major incident. That means this ticket's been identified as a major incident. However, this can also say service request or incident depending on the ticket type. Underneath this, you'll see email, calendaring, desktop client, submit incident. This is the categorization of the ticket. So this is the categorization structure. Service, category, subcategory. In the top right, you'll see who initially created the ticket as well as the last modified information. So you can still click on these links to assign a customer or assign a user to the ticket. However, you'll see down here in this overview area, this is actually now where you work the ticket. The information that used to be on the left of the ticket is now either at the top, or the I want to actions are now over here under actions. If I scroll the ticket, we'll see call source, customer is all basically the same. However, if we go down a little bit, we'll see that the classification is different. So this ticket no longer is classified using the three drop-downs of service, category, subcategory. It's all driven here with this service classification selector. So this is where I go to select the classification of the ticket. If I click the link like I just did, I'm able to browse through and look at the categorization structure. However, I can also simply type it in and type in email, for example, and get a list of the related subcategories based off what I searched. If there was only one result, it would have populated that specific result. Next, you'll see the priority of the ticket, as well as any related CIs. And then at the bottom, you actually have two drop-downs now that can be used to assign a ticket to a team. So they went away from those links on the left-hand side of the screen. So I can reassign this ticket as needed to level 2, for example, and then I can assign it to Andrew. You'll see here at the bottom there's a save and cancel button. So you still have the save button at the top, however they also added it down at the bottom in order to make it easier to use, because most of the time you're down here when you need to save the ticket. So they've gotten rid of that step 1, step 2, step 3 layout the ticket had in the old version. Specifics information, or that step 3 information, is now under additional questions located here. If you're upgrading to 9.6 content, one of the items you have to keep in mind is this box is skinnier than the original specifics form layout. So depending on how you built your specifics forms, you may either want to increase the size of this box or rearrange your specifics forms. And then finally, all of the I want to actions are over here. So one of the great parts of this layout is on the old version of Cherwell is you kept having to move this bar around to see the task information or any of the sub-tab information on the old forms. However, with this new layout, they've got the tabs, but you no longer have to constantly drag this bar around. You can basically always leave it where it's at. The next thing is this activity pane. So this activity pane is a new way to look at journals. Before 9.6, journals all looked like this. You had to individually click on the journals to see the information in the journals, and finding things was rather difficult. However, with the activity pane, I'm able to see a much cleaner view of all the items in the journal entries, and I can quickly group them by different areas. So system audit is This is any field that's changed in the system that's being audited. This gives us all the audit values. So if you're doing an audit of a ticket, you can jump over here to see who changed the ticket and when. External communication is all email-based communication in the ticket. So I can hit show more if it's a long email, for example. But this allows me to quickly get the information I need. And let's say this email is extremely important. I can right-click on this and hit pin. And now this is identified as an important journal note in the activity pane, and I can see it over here in the pin tab. And lastly is internal notes. This is anything that a engineer has made a note on the ticket for, and that's all visible under this tab. And of course I can see the whole thing here, but I can also search. Like if I was searching for a keyword, I could search for that, and then I'd be able to see journals related just to that search across all of the areas. So this is a much cleaner way to look at journal, and this is probably one of the best features of the 9.6 content. The rest of the tabs and the general functionality of the incident form has not changed, and the workflow has not changed. So there are some new fields to support this functionality, and of course there's new forms. However, the workflow behind the ticket of new to assigned to in progress, the way approvals work, none of that's changed. So any workflows you've built out within your incident object, none of that will get impacted by a content upgrade if you choose to adopt these new forms. One important thing to review anytime you're looking at doing a content upgrade is what have you changed in the out-of-the-box form. So what new fields have you added? What fields have you changed? That way when you do a content upgrade, you can ensure that those items don't change once you go to do the content upgrade. So the fields you've created get added to the new forms. If you've changed the association to a field, that needs to make sure it gets reflected on the new forms so that nothing breaks after your content upgrade. You'll see that the default dashboard pack has also changed. So until recently, the standard theme most customers and most professional services groups for Cherwell used was professional gray. However, this new color scheme is called Prussian blue within Cherwell, and this is the default theme used on all dashboards and forms that Cherwell released in the 9.6 content. So this is the new global IT dashboard. They've reduced the number of items on the dashboard to make it more functional instead of a proof of concept, kind of like it was. And then they've also reworked the My Work dashboard. So it's a lot cleaner to look at, and the way they are showing the ticket information on what's been assigned to you is a lot cleaner. So this makes it a lot easier to identify what tickets you need to take ownership of and what tickets that you currently own that is being worked. So if you do a content upgrade or just going live with Cherwell, this is the basic layout that you're going to get out of the box. As a comparison, this was the out-of-the-box global IT dashboard for a pre-9.6 environment, and this is the My Work dashboard. So the layout's changed in order to make it more user-friendly. If I go back to my 9.6 environment, I'll show you what some of the other major business objects look like. First, back on incident, you can see that I've created a child task. Task is another object that got a new look. So I've created a new task, and we can see over here on the right that they've made the task object skinnier and longer. That way you're able to easily have my tasks open on the right and the list of what tasks you have on the left, so you can look at both sets of information. You'll see that the layout of this is very similar to the layout of incident, and that you'll see across all the major business objects that they've upgraded. So next I'm going to go look at a change request. And you'll see that this layout is very similar to incident. The basic information's on the top, and all the work to the ticket's done on the bottom. One thing to note on change out of the box is they didn't add the activity pane to change out of the box. However, you can add that same activity pane that we had on incident to all the other business objects that use journal for those customers that like that view better. So again, on change and all of the other workflows within Cherwell, this added some new fields. However, they did not alter any of the workflows within Cherwell. So any custom workflows and approvals you have will still work after a content upgrade. Next up, if we go look at a configuration item, I'm using the computer CI object as an example, but we'll see the same build out. So the basic information is on the top, and then all the detailed information where you work the ticket is down here at the bottom. And again, they've done that so that you no longer have to keep moving this bar around. It makes it much cleaner to work around in the ticket. So this is a basic overview of some of the new content. Each of the major business objects within Cherwell have gotten content upgrade. So this includes problem, change, customer, knowledge, task, and incident. There's also a new set of dashboards that came along with the new content that are great for reports and metrics. Hopefully this video has been helpful for you and giving you some information on what the new content in 9.6 looks like. We also have a video on what changes have come in 9.7, specifically around knowledge. So knowledge workflow was changed in 9.7. That's detailed in that video on our YouTube page. Thank you for your time.